There are more signs making it look like Ghost of Tsushima is either getting a sequel or some sort of DLC expansion that is coming from Sucker Punch job ads. We'll take a look at that, and also what I expect to be the first of many game delays. A major title in 2021 has been delayed as Hogwarts Legacy will now be released in 2022. We'll talk a little bit about that and why I think this is the first of many to come, but we'll go into that in just a second. Some pretty positive news if this does come to fruition. Ghost of Tsushima obviously has been a pretty major success. A lot of people have really enjoyed it. I've seen a lot of you guys say that it's your favorite game of the year. Metacritic gave it a pretty decent score. I thought it was a little bit underrated on there in terms of the score. I just thought it was better than some of the other games that they scored as well. But hey, those are just critic opinions. I thought the game was great. It probably is my game of the year as well. I really dug it. And I also do want to see a follow-up title. I want to see DLC, whatever they can do. I think Ghost of Tsushima is something that Sucker Punch can really invest into as a IP that they can expand. Obviously, they put out the multiplayer component, and it looks like they might be making even more content because a Sucker Punch job ad, remember, indicated that the studio was looking for a writer with a knowledge of feudal Japanese history, leading to many to think Ghost of Tsushima was getting some sort of expansion. Well, now a new job ad also adds to that. Sucker Punch is now looking for a combat designer, and the job ad specifically says the applicant must have played Ghost of Tsushima and understand its core combat systems. I feel like that's such a fantastic job description. Like, must have played Ghost of Tsushima and understand its core combat systems. I mean, you should just play Ghost of Tsushima anyway, but if you're looking to be a Sucker Punch combat designer, hey, that being a prerequisite is fantastic. Hopefully this does lead to more Ghost of Tsushima content, because I think a follow-up title based on the ending of the game, there's a lot of directions they can go with Jin's story. I won't go into spoilers since I know this is a game a lot of you guys still want to play. Maybe you're waiting to get your PS5 and play it in 60 FPS. Whatever the deal is, do check it out. It's a great game with so much content. I haven't even platinumed the game, and yeah, there's still a lot for me to do in the game. And then you talk about the multiplayer component as well. Sucker Punch did a great job with the game, and I do believe, ahead of Ghost of Tsushima's release, I kept on saying that this was a game that might establish Sucker Punch as a tier 1 studio, so to speak, on the level of a Naughty Dog prior to the release of The Last of Us Part 2. It seems like a lot of people would suggest that they've fallen down a peg. I don't know about that, but among the likes of a, Naughty Dog, a Sony Santa Monica, former CD Projekt Red, these things you can obviously see are constantly in flux, and I think a Sucker Punch right now has a wave of momentum, and a Ghost of Tsushima 2 probably would take a really long time to get out the gate. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima was in development for a very long time, but now that they have the fundamentals in place, hopefully we can get a second game a little bit sooner, or better yet, how about some DLC? I'm not usually an advocate for DLC, but this time I might just simp out and get the DLC for Ghost of Tsushima. So we'll see how all of that turns out. Okay, moving on from that, Hogwarts Legacy has been delayed until 2022. No other definitive time frame was given outside of that. They did note on their Twitter page, "We would like to thank fans from around the world on the tremendous reaction to the announcement of Hogwarts Legacy from our Portkey Games label. Creating the best possible experience for all of the wizarding world and gaming fans is paramount to us, so we are giving the game the time it needs. Hogwarts Legacy will be released in 2022. Obviously, the world is in a very big state of flux, and you have to realize a lot of these games that are scheduled to be released in 2021, they had a large portion of their development time in 2020. 2020, obviously, global pandemic. A lot of people, development was just going to be slowed down. A lot of people are working from home. I would say the majority of developers are working from home, and that might have stifled game development time. I really don't know how each studio has adapted, but you would have to think that each studio is taking it a different way, and for a game like this, you really want to establish a quality product out of the get-go, because I do imagine that this is going to be an IP that they're going to rely on. If I had to say, there are some games that come to mind right away when I think about games that are going to be delayed until 2022. God of War, I'm sorry, I do not think that game is coming in 2021. We barely know anything about it, and I remember when we just got a logo for the game, and attached with that was 2021. I was like thinking right away, I'm like, no, bro, this game is not going to be coming out in 2021. And, there's a couple of other games that come to mind. I could even see like a Halo Infinite get delayed to early 2022. I could see something like a Final Fantasy 16 ending up being a 2022 title. However, I do give a lot of faith in that team that's working on that game. So we'll see how it turns out. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Also, I do think a lot of these developers are looking at the Cyberpunk 2077 situation and how much of a PR train wreck that has been. And I think they're just going to be like, let's just delay our game. It's better to make it in a suitable state, especially because a lot of these games are going to end up being cross-gen titles. So if we're talking about them being cross-gen titles, how are they going to do on the PS4? Look, the PS4 is archaic hardware at this point. If they want to put the game on the PS4, it's going to take a little bit to optimize the game. At least that's what I would think. But that's going to wrap up this video. Let me know your thoughts on the potential of a Ghost of Tsushima sequel. Looks like some Ghost of Tsushima content is in the works, whether it be DLC, whether it be a full-on sequel. I'm all in as far as that's concerned. Would rather be the DLC be free like that multiplayer update, but hey, given that that update was free, I don't know if we're gonna get more like single-player content for free. Probably not. Hogwarts, on the other hand, being delayed until 2022. Let me know your thoughts on that. I feel like this was a game a lot of people were looking forward to this year, so a little bit of a bummer, but hey, if it makes the game better, that's really what matters at the end of the day, especially in the pandemic era. That's gonna wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.